Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off.
I'm at the football game. I'm at the grocery store. What? I'm at the combination football game and grocery store.
Wait, you're at the football game and the grocery store?
Nah, I'm at the combination football game and grocery store. Groceries through Instacart, delivered to my door. I don't have to choose between football and the grocery store.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken: Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, let's get into the show. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well wherever you are in the world today. Very excited to be back with you with another episode. I am back in Denver today after a quick pop over trip to LA to record on the mental illness happy hour. I talked about that in an episode a couple of days ago. And today I want to talk to you about something really important that actually parlays with that conversation, but more so, I think, with life in general. Of course, before we do that, I'm going to read a review from like with a bunch of exclamation points from like best podcast on the air. So thank you for that. I will say thank you, and I will leave it at that. Michael Anthony is amazing and has overcome trauma that would break most people. He helps people to move through trauma, and I've shared this with many of my family and friends. Living unbroken is absolutely amazing. Thank you. Like, yes, it is absolutely amazing. Look, I'm going to tell you this. I wrote down something in my journal today as a reflection of yesterday, of this drive to, or a couple days ago, driving to LA, to the airport. Excuse me, I didn't drive to LA. I drove to the airport and got in the airplane, and they took me to LA. But as I was driving, there was a moment where this beautiful song that I love came on, and the sun was coming up, and I just felt love and power and grace and hope and all the things that I believe come along with this journey when you start to step into the other side of healing. And when you start to step into taking care of yourself, and when you start to step into doing the things that you know you need to do because you know you need to do them. And as I'm driving, this happened a few times in my life, but this was the most recent. I'm driving and I'm looking and the sun's hitting me, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm really in a movie right now. I'm creating my own movie as I go. I'm building this story as I go, and the story arc and the characters and everything in it. And it all starts with me. And I think about this so frequently because the truth is, like, right now, even if your life is not where you want it to be, there is a sense of responsibility that you have to take for that. That's not culpability. I'm not saying, again, I talk about this all the time, the bad shit that happens to you, not your fault. But right now, today, you have to recognize you are going to have to make a decision about your future, and you're going to have to put yourself in a position to be successful. But what happens so frequently is we quit. We stop. I don't know if you've ever read the book. I actually recommend that you all go read this book right now. It's called 3 Feet from Gold. I think it's one of the most important books just about life. I mean, it is kind of a business book, but it's really a life book. And the crux of the whole narrative of this book is that human beings, people in general, we quit when we're like right here. We're an inch away. We are 3 feet from our dream, from what we want. And when I read this and I heard this and I started to sit in this idea about the reality, about how true that really felt to me, I started thinking about this. What if I just never quit? What if I just took it out of my vocabulary? When I was a little kid, I was on a bowling league. And actually, I might post a photo of that tonight because it's an important photo to me. And my uncle was there. So we'd go on Saturdays to a place called Raceway Lanes in Speedway, Indiana. My grandma would sit in the back of the bowling alley and drink fucking Miller Lite or whatever and chain smoke cigarettes. And me and my little brothers and my cousins, we would all be on this bowling league. I mean, how fucking Indiana was this? You know what I'm saying? And I hated it. I hated it because I wasn't good at it, but I wasn't good at it because I wasn't focused and I wasn't paying attention. And yes, I was 7 or 8 or 9 years old in that window when we were doing it. And one day I remember throwing what I'm going to call a tantrum because that's what it was. And I was just so upset. I was so mad because I could not get that fucking ball to go down the lane and hit the pins. It kept going in the gutter, kept going in the gutter, kept going in the gutter. And because I was on this league, like, you weren't allowed to use the bumpers. So actually I would have been a little older. So I want to say I was about 9 or 10 years old. Because when I was like 7 or 8, I definitely remember the bumpers. So I think I was a little bit older. And so I'd roll the ball, it'd go down, it'd go in the fucking gutter, and the infuriation of that moment would just build up and build up and build up and build up. And then by halfway through the game, I was looking up, my score was like 4, and I was pissed. Like I was so upset. And I was in this place where I was ready to like explode. And I take my ball and I put it back on the rack, and the game's not over. And I go to the back and I sit down and I'm like, I quit. I'm done. I don't want to fucking do this anymore. I probably actually said that knowing how I was as a child. And my uncle comes up to me and he's like, what is going on? What's wrong with you? And I look at him, I go, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. It's stupid. He goes, what's stupid about it? And I go, I can't get the ball down the lane and it keeps falling into the gutter. And he gets down. This is like really special. This is one of those pivotal moments in my childhood that I may have shared this before on the show, but I want to share it today for a reason. He gets down on a knee next to me. Normally at moments like this with my stepfather and my mom and my grandma, I would be prepared to get my ass kicked. That's where my brain immediately went. I was like, oh no, he's going to hit me. He's going to yell at me something. Like I was terrible. Like I could feel the heartbeat because, you know, that's just how it was. And he gets down on his knee and puts his hand on my shoulder. And he looks at me and goes, you are not allowed to use that word. And I was like, what word? He goes, you are not allowed to say I quit. I got goosebumps right now. He goes, you are not allowed to say I quit ever in your fucking life. He didn't say fucking, I'm going to use that. He goes, you're never allowed to quit in your life. This is not how you can do things. You're not allowed to quit. Take that word out of your vocabulary. And we'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken Trauma Healing Coaching Program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show. I remember so vividly going back to the rack, picking up the ball, walking to the lane, and then throwing a strike and hitting all the pins and knocking them all down. Where 4 minutes before I was done, I quit. I was over it because I was frustrated. And that moment when he came up to me, that solidified this really interesting belief in myself. Now, it wasn't a belief in the right things at that time, but it did plant a seed that today, 20-something years later, has carried a tremendous amount of weight in my life. And I still, to this day, have so much love for my uncle for that moment. That's really the only moment I remember ever connecting with him. I mean, we were around and stuff, but I don't remember a moment other than that of really feeling like seen. And that was really important. And so what does that have to do with getting on a plane to go to LA to record a podcast? Everything. Here's the reality about life. We often quit right before it's time to have success. We often quit. We often say, I can't, right before everything becomes different. You see, the concept behind 3 feet from gold is that you have to continue to go forward towards your dreams and towards the life that you want to have all the time, every single day. It's like one more action, one more moment, one more dream. You just keep going forward, because that moment that you quit, that moment you say, I can't, the moment you don't do it anymore, could be the very action that you needed to take that makes everything different in your life. One more rep, right? One more attempt at this, one more day. Jocko Willink said something really fascinating, and it might have been one of his books or his podcasts. I don't remember. And what he said was he always asks himself if he needs a day off. And he gets really, really in his own face about it. And he goes, tomorrow I'll take a day off if I need a day off. And then tomorrow comes, and then he asks himself the same question. And he goes, if I really need a day off, I'll take the day off. And I think people do that too often. They go, I'm just going to take the day off today. Do you really need it? I'm going to stop today. Do you really need to stop? I'm going to quit today. Do you really need to quit? Because the truth is, a lot of time we're just taking it easy on ourselves. And that's not to say you should not do your self-care and take care of yourself. You guys know how I stand on that. But the truth is, like, when you are in this position in life right now in real time, you see all the world telling you to take it easier, take it easier, take it easier. But what they're not talking about is the fact that they are giving up on their dreams, that they are quitting, that they are not putting in the effort and energy, that they're not showing up on the days, not necessarily even that they don't want to, because, like, let's keep it real. Most days we would rather not do what we have to do. Like, that's the truth of it. I would rather be stoned, eating gummy bears, playing video games right now than doing this. But I made a commitment to myself. I said every single day this year, we are releasing a fucking podcast. Hell or high water. If I got to record it with my cell phone, if I got to go get a cassette player, I don't give a fuck. We are recording this. Like, that is a commitment. And that's the truth. And the reason why is not only so I can create massive value for the Unbroken Nation and for you guys, but more importantly, so that I can show people, like, the truth about life. You commit, you show up, you keep going. Eventually that thing that you're moving towards will come to reality. I've seen it play out again and again and again in my life. That was LA a couple days ago. That was 7 years in the making. That was getting an investment from Grant Cardone last year. That took forever for it to happen. That was getting coaching from some of the greatest coaches probably on planet Earth right now, right? World changers. That all comes from this place of, I'm not going to quit on myself. I'm not going to give up on myself, because you're always 3 feet from gold. You're always right there. You're digging in the mines. You're shoveling. You're tired. You're exhausted. You got to keep going. Now, look, again, the conversation, you've got to figure this out for yourself. And I know out of context, people will go, this guy's talking about working yourself to death. No, I'm not. I'm talking about not stopping just because you want to stop. Because I promise you, if I'm tired, if I am sick, if I am exhausted like I was in December where I took a whole month off, I'm doing that. Why? Because I have to. Because I'm always going to take care of myself. But when you're so close, when you're right here and you can taste it, and you can feel it and you can see it, and you're like, I'm getting there. Whether that's the next therapy session or the next coaching session or the next book or the next trip to the gym or the next salad, right? Whatever that thing is, I don't know. It's going to be different for everyone. Maybe it's the next parenting class, right? Maybe it's the next anger management course. Maybe it's going to get your driving license. It doesn't matter what it is. When you get crystal clear about your goal and what you want, your mission is to not stop until you achieve it. Do not quit on yourself. Take the word can't out of your fucking vocabulary. Stop letting yourself off the hook for your dreams. If you're sick, be sick. Take care of yourself. Do the shit you need to do to operate functionally in the world. But do not stop. Do not quit. And do not say I can't. Because the truth is, you might be one action away from everything being different. All right, my friends, Unbroken Nation, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much. Like, it really means the world to me. These reviews, especially, you guys are crushing it right now, sending these beautiful reviews for this show on iTunes, and I appreciate that. If you would please take 30 seconds, go down there, hit the review. If you're watching this somewhere else, leave a like, leave a comment. Please let me know. Please check out Think Unbroken. Go to book.thinkunbroken.com and tell a friend. And until next time, my friend, be unbroken. I'll see ya. Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor, and when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show, but I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.